Happy Thursday, guys. Welcome on into Let's Bet It. Lauren Jabbar here with Alex Glaze, Mark Zinno, two roses, a thorn. I love these days when the three of us are on the show together. Alex, how are you doing today? We got Wild Card Weekend coming up. You feeling good about it?
I'm feeling good. I mean, we got a lot of great games on the slate. We were talking before the show, trying to figure out that Steelers Chiefs game. I mean, that's got to be one of. I can't remember the last time I saw a team getting 12.5 points in a playoff game. I mean, kind of tricky there. Kind of tricky.
I know. Mark's on the opposite side of what Alex and I
Whoa,
think.
whoa, whoa! I don't know what side I'm on yet. I'm thinking.
I know what
through
side
it.
I'm on.
Thinking
We're going to
through
talk about it tomorrow. But Mark, I'll let you have your little piece right here if you want to say
Listen,
something.
think long, think wrong. Don't try to justify the Steelers as being a competent, competitive playoff team. They're not. They don't even belong in the playoffs at this point. Kansas City should roll this team. If they don't, it sets off serious alarms about Kansas City in the divisional playoff against whoever they're going to play against. But Kansas City easily will dispatch of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I just can't see Mike Tomlin getting embarrassed in the playoffs.
I don't think he has a choice.
There's something about Mike Tomlin that just tells me it's not going to happen. I don't know.
He has a choice.
I don't think he doesn't have a choice. His quarterback can't throw the ball 30 yards downfield. His offense can't score. His defense has holes in it, and they're going into one of the toughest places to play against the best quarterback in the league. What choice does Mike Tomlin have?
You sound like that. You sound like Ben Roethlisberger at the podium yesterday. That's literally what. That's pretty much what he said.
When your quarterback is admitting I can't throw the ball anymore, bet against the quarterback.
Okay, we're going to talk a lot of football tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. Today, basketball owns the show, and so does hockey. We have boys, college basketball. Quite a few games tonight. It's highlighted by Ohio State taking on Wisconsin at Wisconsin. We're going to break that one down. NBA, 5 games on the slate. We have quite a few bets in the National Basketball Association, right? NBA. Thank you. And then NHL. I was like, I never say National Basketball Association.
The association.
That sounded weird coming out of my mouth. I was like, NBA. Okay, whatever. NHL. We got the Ice Picks because there's an 11-game slate tonight. So a lot of good games to be digging into. And then we can't end without our 3-star play of the day and our best bets of the day. So without further ado, my friends, let's get into it. Let's bet it. College basketball. Let's take it to the Cheese State, Wisconsin, where they're taking on Ohio State. They played back on December 11th. Ohio State beat Wisconsin on the road in a hostile environment, playing at home. It was an exciting game. This one, I think it's going to be a really, really good one. Alex, take me through what you think is going to happen, how you're betting this game.
Yeah, Ohio State didn't just beat Wisconsin a month ago. They dominated them. They beat them by 18 points. So when I'm looking at this game, why is Ohio State getting 3.5 points, right? Like Wisconsin's offense isn't great. It's just because they're playing at home. And you know how I feel about, these home games and these. Yeah. I mean, this is going to be a crazy environment tonight. But I just don't believe Wisconsin has the same caliber offense as Ohio State, and they turn the ball over more than anybody in the country, and that's been their problem all season long, and it's going to be a problem tonight because you just can't do that against a team like Ohio State. But the key to this game for me is going to be Ohio State's 3-point shooting percentage. I mean, they rank 11th in 3-point shooting percentage, making almost 40% of their threes, and Wisconsin ranks 224th in opponent 3-point percentage. So Ohio State's going to have the opportunity to put up some shots. In that first game, the reason why Ohio State won is because they dominated the boards. So if they can do that again tonight, I'm not sure that they're going to be able to do it the way that they did in that first meeting and put up the shots and have that offense clicking the way that they've been clicking all season long. I think that Ohio State's going to be able to come away with a win in this one. It's going to be tough. It's going to be close. Either way. So I just like pocketing those 3.5 points. Small sample size, but Ohio State is 1-2 on the road against Big Ten teams this season, or 1-2 against the spread. I'm sorry, against Big Ten teams. So it's going to be tough, but I think Ohio State's going to get it done.
Mark, I know you're on the same side as Alex, and then I'll tell you guys why I'm on the opposite side.
Yeah, a lot of what Alex said about the 3-point shooting is certainly key. That is what makes Ohio State's offense effective. And in fact, 2 of their losses this year to Indiana and Florida, they failed to eclipse 30% from beyond the arc, and that is a key component for what Wisconsin will have to do to try to slow down this offense. Also, in all 3 of their losses this year, Ohio State has failed to get to 70 points, which is part of the reason why I'm going to take the over 139.5 tonight as well, because Ohio State will do their job to get to 70, and if they're pushing the pace that much, it's going to force Wisconsin to keep up. As Alex mentioned, Wisconsin is a bad 3-point field goal percentage defense team. Ohio State very good from the three. For me, that's a combination where Ohio State gets to 70. I'll take them plus the points. Wouldn't mind a money line sprinkle, but I do think it's a correlating bet situation. If you're on Ohio State tonight, you're going to take the over. Wisconsin only wins this game if it goes under.
Yeah, I actually see, like, I mean, the dichotomy between these two teams, right? The Buckeyes shoot the ball really well. I think they're shooting 50% from the field for the season, but they struggle on defense. Badgers don't shoot as well, but they have a stronger defense. I think both teams have the same conference record right now. Wisconsin, though, has faced tougher opponents. If you look at their strength of schedule this season, Wisconsin has played tougher teams, and now they're riding a 5-game win streak. They haven't lost since they lost to Ohio State last time on December 11th. I think they're figuring things out. I think Wisconsin's going to squeak this one out, but I have Wisconsin laying the points in this one. They're 10-5 against the spread on the season, 4-1 against Big Ten teams. So I like the stats when it comes down to that. And the last time that they played, the Badgers couldn't buy a bucket, basically. They couldn't get a single shot to fall. I don't think that that's going to be the same tonight because I don't trust Ohio State's defense as much as I trust Wisconsin's defense. And Ohio State was red hot last time they played. I don't think that that's a consistent thing that they've been able to keep up all season. Yeah, they're good from beyond the arc, and Wisconsin might not be the best perimeter defense, but their defense as a whole is very, very strong. And I feel like they'll find a way to strengthen up their perimeter defense against Ohio State because that's what they have to do.
Laying points with one of the worst shooting offenses in the Big Ten. Bold strategy. Bold strategy.
Cotton. Let's see if it works out. I think it will. So we feel good about it. Let's take it boys to men. NBA morning radar. Not a lot of games on the slate tonight. 5 games. We're talking about 3 of them. Let's start with the Warriors taking on the Bucks. This is going to be basically a potential NBA Finals preview that we're going to watch. The Warriors known for their deep 3-point shooting, lighting up scoreboards, but their defense has actually been the difference for them this season. The Bucks, they've won 4 straight, recently lost 4 of their last 5. I like the Warriors in this spot, and I like their money line. I bet it this morning, actually, at plus 112. It's now moved a little bit. Their money line is plus 102 on FanDuel. The Bucks just have more key players out with injuries. They haven't covered the spread in their last 4 home games against a team with a winning percentage of over 600. And Golden State covered the spread 13 of their last 16 games following a straight up loss. So I really like Golden State. I like that Clay is back. I love how they play defense, and obviously defense wins championships. You see how good their offense flows from playing strong defense the entire season. Do you guys agree with me on this one? Or are you kind of on the opposite side?
I don't mind that. I think that the Warriors, I think what I saw the last time I watched them against the Grizzlies, they really missed Draymond Green, not only on the defensive end, but on the offensive end too. They missed those rebounds. So I think that that's going to be something that's going to stand out tonight, especially against a big Bucks team. But with Clay back, hopefully Steph can get out of that shooting slump that he's been in. He's got to break that eventually, right? So if I had a lean for this game, it'd probably be the over because I think that the Warriors are going to push that pace a little bit. But I don't mind Warriors money line. I don't mind it.
Yeah, just sprinkle it on there a little bit. Zeno, what do you think?
No, I don't think it's a bad play. I mean, I'm on the under in this game just simply for a couple of reasons. One, Milwaukee is weary. I mean, they have played this now their 7th game in the first 13 days of the month. In fact, this is their first two-day break period since Christmas Day. So they've been on a grueling schedule. Their last 3 games have gone under the total. For Golden State, 3 of their last 4 have gone under the total. The one that went over was the game against the Grizzlies last time out on Tuesday against one of the highest scoring teams in the league. Now, Milwaukee is a very high scoring team, but they haven't been doing their part to push the pace where they normally have been. So I like the under tonight between these 2 teams. The only thing that scares me, guys, about the under is if Klay Thompson finally has that night where he just explodes offensively. They've been keeping him on an industry restriction. He's only been playing about 20 minutes. What did he have? 14 in the first game. I think he had 17 on Tuesday against the Grizzlies. So it's been a little bit of a sort of slower development for Klay. But, if Klay gets back into things offensively and has a 25, 28-point night, clearly that's going to change the outcome of this game overall. But as long as they're slow playing Klay back into the lineup, I like the under 223.5 tonight.
Or Steph. I mean, before that Grizzlies game, I believe the last 3 Warriors games prior to that, they were averaging just around like 92 points per game. So their offense was not working really before that Grizzlies game. So, I mean, I think maybe they figured it out. Maybe they figured something out. I don't know.
Drew Holiday's still out for the Bucks.
Yep.
I think the Warriors are going to be solid defensively in this one, but the Bucks are 3-3 against the spread, 4-2 straight up versus Golden State since 2017. So little food for thought. Let's take it to New York because the Nets playing in the second half of a back-to-back. Zeno, I know you're on this game. They're taking on OKC. That line opened at 10.5. It is now moved to 7.5, and you're feeling maybe I'm going to pull away from this one a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, and the line has moved a lot. When I got up this morning, it was at 9, and I was okay with taking the Thunder plus 9. Look, the Thunder have been a great spread team all season long. They're 26-14 against the number. Conversely, Brooklyn 16-23-1 over this season. OKC, despite being 2-8 straight up, is 7-3 against the number in their last 10 and covered 5 of their last 6. Now, this isn't a terrible team defensively. They're top 10 in the league in field goal percentage defense. They're just terrible offensively, which presents a little bit of a problem. And as this number quickly gets shorter, it makes me want to walk away. I mean, I wouldn't bet it at 7.5. It's come down just too much. If it went below 9 is really where my buy point was. At 9, 9.5, I was okay with it. Certainly, if it was double digits, I really would have loved it. But when this number starts to move that much, it's either a bunch of public money. I would rather it be really sharp bettors coming in, wagering a ton, but I don't know that that's the case at this point in time. So I don't like it at 7.5. I don't think you'll get buyback on Brooklyn at this point. Again, no Kyrie Irving tonight. I would also look at that as a big thing. He's not allowed to play in the state of New York. They may end up paying the fine to let him play tonight, but after a huge emotional win last night, it's a prime letdown spot against a team that's very good against the number for the Brooklyn Nets. So I think the Thunder are the right side at 7.5. I'm a little squeamish, liked it much better about an hour and a half ago at 9.
Yeah, okay. See, they're just trying to find a way to win right now. They've had 5 consecutive losses. This could be a good spot for them, especially with the Nets on the second half of a back-to-back with travel. I say like the second half of a back-to-back when you're playing, at home for both of those games, I don't think it's as much of a difference where you're playing in Chicago last night, you lose an hour traveling back home, and then you're also playing on second half of back-to-back. That's tough.
Yes.
Alex, let's take it to Memphis because the Grizzlies are red hot right now on a 10-game winning streak. Timberwolves trying to get back
Timberwolves are hot too. Yeah.
I know. Yeah, they're trying to get back to 500. They've won 4 straight before losing to the Pelicans in their last game. How are you betting this game tonight?
So it's taken every fiber of my being not to lay the 5 points with the Grizzlies. I'm fighting the urge to do that. I just feel like everyone's going to be on the Grizzlies tonight. So I'm staying away from a side. But I really like the total. It's high, 230.5. But these are two teams that just don't focus on defense that much. They just want to push pace, and they are very much offensive-minded teams, and they can score, right? These are two teams that can score the basketball at a high clip. So I'm going with the over 230.5. I just think that this is going to be one of those games where it's going to just feature two offenses, and we're going to see a lot of points in this one. But for me, a prop that I'm looking at is Jaren Jackson over 5.5 rebounds, because while this is going to be a great game all around, I think this is going to be a great matchup between Karl Anthony Towns and Jaren Jackson. Jaren Jackson, 11 rebounds against the Warriors, 12 rebounds against the Lakers, 8 against the Clippers. He's gone over 5.5 in 4 straight and in 5 of the last 7 games. And the Timberwolves ranked 27th in opponents' rebounds per game. So 5.5, I like Jaren Jackson to get there. And I'm going with a rare over tonight.
Alex never bets the over.
Never.
I'm seeing on FanDuel the line is now moved to 4.5. Does that entice you anymore?
No, I think it's a trap. I'm scared. I'm scared of the 4.5. I'm scared of it.
Okay, we'll stay away from that. So he's on the over in that game. Jaren Jackson over 5.5 rebounds. I like it. Let's take.
They've been good against the spread. I'm looking right now, 5-1-1 in their last 7 games against the spread. So staying away.
Let's take it from the court to the ice. We got quite a few NHL games going on tonight, and I'm really excited about the slate. So first of all, I'm going to ask you guys this too, because obviously I have my opinions on it, but 6 teams right now with a current winning or losing streak of at least 4 games. Zeno, for you, how do you handle betting the NHL when teams are either on a big winning streak or a big losing streak, or does it not really impact you in how you're betting some of these games?
No, it does. I mean, look, hockey, wins and losses come in bunches, right? Teams get in ruts. It happens often in the NHL. You'll just find spans where, teams have won 5 of 6 and maybe the one loss was an overtime loss, or they had an overtime, a tie or something like that. And then they get in periods where the travel is heavy and They just aren't scoring. They can't find the back of the net routinely, and
Mhm.
they've lost, 5 of their last 7. It's just kind of the way hockey goes sometimes, given the nature of the sport and how guys physically get banged up over the course of time. So I try to ride those streaks when I can find them on both ends.
Yeah, I do the same exact thing, and honestly, like, same with NBA too, like, it's a game of streaks, it's a game of momentum. If you have the momentum on your side, you feel good about it, and they're red hot, right? The chemistry is clicking. If they're not, I kinda waiting to see when they're gonna bounce back into that and get one of those winning streaks going, or at least some sort of streak going. So yeah, definitely look at those trends. And Alex, I know, do you do the same thing too when you're betting? Because you bet NBA more than NHL. Do you
Yeah,
do the
I'm
same
not
thing?
really that big in NHL betting yet. Just really started doing that. But what I've noticed with the streaks more so it's just like the road when you're playing more road games, right? Like you lose 3 games, but then you notice it's 3 straight road games, and then maybe they got that fourth one. And it's just like these teams just I mean, Lauren, you know better than us. They just want to be done with the road trips, right? Like that's kind of the streak that I've paid more attention to than wins losses because you play different teams,
Mhm.
things can they just happen, right, on streaks, but, I pay attention to the travel more than
Yeah.
anything.
But you
Yeah,
guys look at streaks, and when they come, like goals tend to come in bunches, and goals get more goals, right? When
mhm.
the offense is clicking, you're starting to
Yeah.
get everybody scoring, everybody chipping in from all 3 lines that are on the ice. I mean, it just seems to happen that way. Same thing in basketball. It's like we just talked about the Warriors. When shooting dries up, it seems to dry up for everybody at the same time. It's sort of similar in the NHL in that aspect.
Mhm, definitely. Well, there's 11 games tonight that we're looking at. Alex, I'll let you go first because you're on the Blues three-way money line. I am also on this tonight. Tell me why, and then I'll
Yeah,
ask.
I mean, just kinda like what I said about riding, these road streaks, right? The Kraken, I mean, they've been on the road. I think this is their 3rd straight road game. They've
Mhm.
lost 7 straight, coming off a 5-2 loss last night to the Stars. Um, Going to St. Louis, where the Blues have been great at home. They're a great home team this year. I'm just going with the 3-way money line. I'm scared of the puck line. I'm not quite there yet. I saw you guys giving out a lot of puck lines last night or
Yeah,
yesterday.
pucks
But
were
I'm just
money
going with
down
three
yesterday, to
three-way
be
money
honest.
line, getting a little bit of value there. And I just think this is just the Blues are just a better team, and the Kraken really struggle to score on the road. That's kind of like the big thing that stuck out to me about this team. While they've struggled a lot, they struggle to score on the road.
Yeah, I know, you're absolutely right about the Kraken too, especially they're playing on the second half of a back-to-back. The road trip in I call St. Louis the city of the arch. I know it's not, but I called it that one time, like, not realizing when we were there with the Avs when they were playing St. Louis. I'm like, "We're in the beautiful city of the arch," and they're like, "Lauren, it's called the Gateway City." I'm like, well, I'm an idiot. So I'm just gonna go home now, okay? But yeah, they're finishing out their 3rd game in a 3-game road trip. Seattle lost to the Avs on Monday. That was a tough loss for them. They played in Dallas last night. They're just struggling in their inaugural season. I feel like a lot of people expected Seattle to be what Vegas was when they had the last expansion draft, and that's just like so rare. That does not happen. Jared and I were talking about this yesterday too, where if Vegas would have won the Stanley Cup that year, a lot of people would have been getting fired from a lot of these sports books because they would have lost so much freaking money. But that's also an anomaly. Like that never happened. So I don't know. People expected Seattle to be better than they are, but I think that's just because of how Vegas did. But Blues right now on a streak of 5 home wins, they're 3 points out of the first place in the Central Division. They've won 4 of their last 5 games in general. Jordan Cairo continues to produce. He has 4 goals in his last 4 games. Binnington 2.9 goals against average. The team is limiting other teams to 2.7 goals. That's 9th in the league right now defensively. The Kraken, they are finding their rhythm a little bit more offensively. 9 goals in the last 3 games, and they've been competitive on the road this season. They're 3-2-1 in the last 6. Those two defeats were only by 1 goal, but I just don't think it will be enough to defeat the Blues on home ice. That place gets really, really rowdy. I've been there quite a few times. I like the Blues 3 money line in this one too, and I like the value at -145. It's better than betting the Blues just regular money line, which I think is like
I might
kind of
sprinkle the puck line though, because the Kraken they've also been losing a lot of games by multiple goals lately
yeah,
too.
but their last 2 defeats on the road were only by 1 goal. I think they're figuring it out a little bit more.
Okay.
So that's why I'm staying away from the puck line. It scared me in this spot. I'm like an
You
aggressive
got burnt by
better.
the Leafs last night. That's why you're scared of the
Yeah, I
puck line
did.
today.
And I'm an aggressive better, especially when it comes to getting things at plus money. I'm staying away from the puck line in this game. Zeno, you're really excited though about your puck line bet on Carolina. tonight.
Yeah, I'll ask you guys, if the trend is your friend, how many friends would you guys like? Because I got a lot of friends for you guys in this Columbus Carolina game.
Hit us with it.
The Hurricanes have the rest advantage. They've been 5 days off. The last game for Columbus was 2 days ago. They have the goal advantage, plus 42 to minus 14. Columbus, over their last 16 games, 4-12. Carolina, conversely, 9-2 over their last 11. Now, conference home favorites this year have covered 60% against the number. Carolina, 20-5 ATS at home this year, or 20-5 ATS overall, 11-3-1 at home. Plus, home favors this year of minus 200 or greater, and Carolina tonight, minus 285, covering 75% of the time.
Wow.
How many trends do you want to be your friend tonight? Enough for me to take Carolina on the puck line tonight at minus 105. Let's go.
I actually wasn't betting that game, but I think I might. You just convinced me because I'm a woman who likes to have a lot of friends. More friends the merrier.
This is like my co-play of the day right here. I mean, I just love the way this thing is set up for Carolina.
Yeah, I like it. Zeno, can we be friends if I bet this game and tail you on this one?
We can be friends. As long as I don't have to be friends with Glaze, I think I'm fine.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, I want to take it to Tampa for a second because they're taking on the Canucks. The Canucks lost their first game in regulation since Bruce Boudreau took charge of them the other night. Tampa Bay won 3 of the last 4 games. But Vancouver, they've been, red hot. 9-game point streak that came to an end against the Florida Panthers. They were 8-1 until that point since Mr. Boudreau took over their program. The Lightning do have an excellent recent record, though, versus the Canucks. They beat them in 4 of the last 5 games. Each of those wins was at least by 2 goals. I think Mr. Brucey is now at the helm. The Nucks are packing quite a punch when they're playing in these games. They're 8-1 in their last 10 games total. I think this game is going to be close. The Canucks have been beaten by more than 1 goal in just 2 of their last 14 games. Amalie Arena, though, I will say it is loud. It is tough to play there. I like the Bolts on the top of this one, 3-way money line. I don't like the puck line again in this one. So Tampa Bay, 3-way money line at home at Amalie Arena against a Canucks team that is figuring it out, but it's going to be tough on the road playing in Tampa at Amalie. So I like the 3-way money line for that one. And then the Pens have been treating me really well recently. They're playing out in LA against the Kings. I like the Pens puck line at plus 172. And I'm also betting this game for my best bet of the day. I am betting the regular straight money line.
Spoiler alert.
What?
Spoiler alert.
I know, spoiler alert. So you'll have to wait a couple minutes to hear my best bet of the day. I'm betting it a little bit differently. I'm betting it 2 ways tonight. So I sprinkled money on the Pens puck line plus 172. I just don't think it's going to be surprising if we see this game as a defensive struggle, right? Both teams rank in the top 6 of goals allowed per game. It's going to be a tight checking contest. But when I look at some of these stats, the Pens do have the advantage in this game. They have the better offense. They're averaging more than half a goal more than the Kings. Also, Malkin, he returned to Pittsburgh, and he's elevated the offense even more. Special teams especially are going to be a key in this game. And the Pens are better than the Kings here, especially on the penalty kill. They rank first in the NHL. Pittsburgh is 9-1-0 in their last 10 games, 4-1 against the spread in their last 5. Tristan Jarry has been phenomenal as well. He's going to be solid between the pipes. I think the Pens take it by 2 goals or more, plus 172. I only bet a half unit on this actually because I feel more confident with my best bet of the day, but I did want to sprinkle Pens Pens. Oh my God. Pens puck line. Say that.
Alliteration is not your friend, Lauren. Alliteration, not your friend.
At plus 172. So we're going with it. I like the value. I like what I'm getting at plus money there. It's going to be the late night game. Alex is probably going to be tucked into bed, nice and cozy, asleep because he goes to bed at like 9 p.m. I asked him
I'm going to stay up and watch that Iowa basketball game tonight. So I'm going to stay up a little past my bedtime tonight.
Yeah. What game was it, Alex, that I was asking you? I go, what do you think about this game? You go, well, I'm going to be in bed. And
it was the Suns game.
It was the Jazz.
No. It was the Suns Raptors. Suns
Raptors game. I go, Alex, what do you think about this game? He goes, well, I'm going to be in bed and not watching it. I go, Alex, it's in Toronto. The game's at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. He's like, well, I'm definitely going to be awake.
Don't the Suns just seem like one of those teams? They're always the late game. They're always the 10 o'clock game, no matter what.
Someone asking about the Preds puck line at minus 1.5. Preds puck line minus 132 against the Sabres. Any thoughts? I have liked the Preds a lot lately, but I'd feel way more comfortable taking the Preds 3-way money line in that one. The Sabres, although they haven't been really great this season, I think that they're going to come in strong. I like the Preds. For more of a sure bet, I would take the Preds 3-way money line or just the Preds straight up money line.
Don't
I know
hop on the
it's
Preds
gonna be
train
bad.
now. Don't hop on the Preds train now. You're
The Preds
a
have
day
been really,
late.
really good. I mean, they beat the Avs the other night, although
Oh, we know. Oh, we know.
that was a very questionable
We
call.
know.
Very questionable call that I think that the refs were wrong, but it's okay. I'm not gonna vent about that because I was really upset the other night. But the Preds have been really, really good. Even when they were dealing with their COVID issues, they were strong. And now that they have most of their guys back, they've still been really, really solid over the last like 10, 15 games or so. I would do the Preds 3-way money line in that one, or straight up just Preds money line. I'd feel more comfortable with that, and I think that's more sure money in that spot. Let's get into our play of the day, Pickswise 3-star play of the day from Pickswise.com, because we have the Sony Open today going on, as Jared would say, on the West Coast, or Hawaii, as I would say. Alex, what's the Pickswise 3-star play of the day today?
Yeah, our friend Steve Palmer's got a couple up
Stevie
here,
boy.
a couple golf best bets. I'm gonna give you both of them. He's got Soon J M at plus 1600 to win, and he's also got Mark Leishman plus 2000 to win. So head over to Pickswise.com and check out our friend Steve Palmer and why he believes that Sunjay and Palmer are going, or Palmer, Sunjay and Mark Leishman are going to win the Sony Open.
Check that out, Pickswise.com. 3-star bet for the day. It's going to be really, really exciting. I can't wait. I love that golf is back. It makes me excited. I know not a lot of people get excited about golf. I get excited about golf. It's like, it takes me back to my childhood, like sitting on the couch on a Sunday and just watching a tournament with my dad. That was like some of my favorite memories growing up. So golf back, baby. Let's go in Hawaii. Love to see it. All right, Zeno, best bet of the day. Who you got?
Well, outside of Carolina, I'm going to go with Texas Tech and lay the 8 points tonight when they host Oklahoma State. A lot of people may look at this in Texas Tech and say it's a huge letdown spot after back-to-back wins against number 6 Kansas and number 1 Baylor. But this is a Texas Tech team right now that will not let down against an Oklahoma State team that is a middle-of-the-road shooting team. Now, you look at Texas Tech, they're top 15 in field goal percentage defense and scoring defense. They were, I think, number 1 in field goal percentage defense, but they played, 2 of the top teams in the nation, so it came down a little bit. But when Texas Tech played Iowa State, a similar shooting team who shot 45% from the field, Oklahoma State shoots 44%. They held Iowa State to 51 points. So you're giving me a very good defensive team against a middle-of-the-road shooting team. Advantage Texas Tech as well. Oklahoma State, 234 in the nation in turnovers. They give the ball away a lot. Now, Oklahoma State takes it away a lot as they're one of the top teams in the nation in turnovers, but it negates it by the way they turn the ball over. It's a little bit of a big number at -8, but I'm going to lay it with Texas Tech tonight with confidence because it's not a letdown spot for them. And Oklahoma State in the middle of an incredibly rough stretch of road games after losing on the road to West Virginia. They get Texas Tech next. They get Baylor as well on the road. Just a rough stretch for the Cowboys here. So give me Texas Tech -8.
He's betting the boys tonight, Alex. Betting the boys. And Alex's best bet of the day, a prop. Let's hear it.
Yes. I'm going back to Jaren Jackson over 5.5 rebounds. This is a Timberwolves team that ranks 27th in opponent rebounds per game. I think Jaren Jackson's going to have a big game tonight against Karl-Anthony Towns. Should be a great matchup, great game, but Jaren Jackson's got 11 rebounds against the Warriors, 12 rebounds against the Lakers, 8 against the Clippers, and it's gone over that number in 4 straight and in 5 of his last 7 games. I think he can get it done tonight.
Yeah, I like it. Okay, I'm taking it back to the ice because I talked about that Pens-Kings game, and I bet a half unit on the Pens puck line, right? Plus 172. Well, I find better just more security for my best bet of the day, betting the Pens 3-way money line. I'm actually betting a whole unit on this one. And you're getting it at plus 105, which I really like. Again, like I said, this game is going to be a defensive struggle. Both teams rank in the top 6 in goals allowed per game. But the Pittsburgh Penguins, they have been just on a tear lately. 9-1-0 in their last 10 games, 4-1 against the spread in their last 5. Tristan Jarry been phenomenal between the pipes. Malkin returned to the Pens, elevated their offense. I think the Pens take it. And I like the sure bet of the Pens 3-way money line at plus 105. Again, I also put a half unit on Penn's puck line at plus 172. But I still like getting this at plus money. It has to finish in regulation on the West Coast. It's going to be an exciting game, but I think the Pittsburgh Penguins are going to take this one, and I feel good about it. So
we have a question for you in the chat, Lauren, from Cold Stone Steve Austin. He's asking, what's puck line? So can you explain what the puck line is to the people?
Yes. So the puck line traditionally is -1.5 or +1.5. So a team at -1.5 is giving away a goal and a half. So they have to win by 2 goals or more. If they're the underdog, they're getting a goal and a half. So they just have to win by, or they just have to lose by 1 goal, I guess, to cover the spread.
Right.
So a puck line is just a little bit more. It's just a little bit more. What's
You're
the word
starting
I'm
the game with a goal and a half, or
It's
you're
very
starting the
similar to
game.
the run line in baseball, which is typically set at 1.5. So they got to win by 2 goals to cover. If the other team wins, loses by a goal or wins outright, the underdog wins.
Yes, and then if you're betting the three-way money line, it means the game has to finish in regulation for you to win your bet. It can't go into overtime. So I like the Pens three-way money line finishing that game in regulation and winning just straight up, basically. And I still like the value that I'm getting at +105. So that's my best bet of the day. Thank you guys for helping me out with that because I was like struggling on my words for a second. So appreciate it. 2 friends. You got a friend in me.
All right, she's starting to sing.
Then I'll have
Turn
a
her
lot
up.
of friends after this show is done today. You
Yes,
love
I hope so.
All right, that's it for us today, guys. Find us on the Pickswise YouTube channel. Go to pickswise.com. Follow us on Twitter, Alex Glaze, Mark Zinno. I'm Lauren Jabara. We got a lot of football coming to you this weekend. Starting tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, we're talking a lot of wild card games. Wild card weekend, baby. So make sure to tune in for that 10 a.m. Eastern time every single day. Best of luck tonight. We'll see you tomorrow. Let's get it. Let's bet it.